that. Okay, so I'll do that one again. It's Monday, it's Pilates. Let's get going. Right. So, and then I want you to just take your left foot and do a full round the ball of the foot massage in one direction. Do you remember I used to call this the Elvis leg? Okay, switch direction. It's just that our feet get such a battering this time of year when we're in flip-flops. Okay, and then toe to heel. All too much information, but the medicine they put me on last week, one of the side effects were cramp, but it wasn't just foot cramp, leg cramp, it was bowel cramp, shoulder, back, rib, diaphragm, toe, ankle, everything cramp, and it really took its toll on me last week. Oh, other side. It frightened me, so I've upped my game. Even more fluids, but electrolytes, because I love water. So now back to electrolytes. What vitamins do I need? Much vitamin D, B12 that maturing women need. So it's a heel toe rock and then around the whole foot rock. Just really get some mobility into the ankles. It's really important, this bit, ladies. There's nothing worse, is there, than sore feet, sore hands. Okay, lovely. Take a step back, put your roller in the centre, have a nice little lean back, and try and see if we can just drop the chest and push out the tail a little bit with a little waggle to the right, to the left. So right to the left. And what you should start to get is more of a stretch out the groin too. Whilst that's happening, see if you can just lengthen your arms, reach your arms further forward as you waggle side to side. And then take your whole body, twist it all under your left armpit, twist right armpit, left armpit, right armpit. So that's quite nice. It's getting that little bit of movement now, just into the lower back, into that space where your ribs end and your pelvis begins. So that's quite a nice bit too. Good, good, good. Well, seeing that we're here and we're talking about arches and flip-flops, let's see if we can just put the roller on its side on the floor. And then just for a moment, so it's a bit of a balance challenge, but a nice gentle massage out. We're just rolling the roller forward and backwards through that arch. And if there's any rinky-dinky type bits, get into those rinky-dinky type bits. It should be fairly gentle. The standing supporting leg, well, leg one's moving, standing supporting leg, just slightly off lock, spread those toes, make that weight nice and equal, heel, baby toe, big toe, okay? Lovely, okay. Now we're just going to stabilize the moving leg. So keep the arch on the roller and roll toe heel on this, that was the static foot. So you're almost trying to step up. And what you might start to feel is sensation on the outside of the calf coming into the knee. Can they hear us okay? I can see WhatsApp messages popping up. They're all good. Okay, lovely. Okay, let's switch that over. So left foot on, just roll it back and forth. This also helps to clear the knee, get some fluid around the knee joint. Again, there's no pressure here, it's just a little bit of mobility. Lovely, lovely. Apply a bit of pressure. Let's see if we can come up and down with that back leg. So this is starting to challenge the balance very quickly. And getting into the fascia, because many people, particularly this time of year with flip-flop wearing, Pat being one of them, start to get that heel pain and arch pain from wearing flat flip-flops. Okay, well done, and release. Okay, let's simply just do this. Let's just come down onto our knees, 1, 2, and then sit back, bottom onto heels. Right, so there was no tasking or testing there. Did you get that? Okay, so what I'd like you to do for a moment, who we've got? Let me just double check everyone. Right, gotcha. Okay, so Let's just see if we can just sit back a little bit. Give yourself a moment. So we might need to switch cameras to the lower limb camera for a second. If that's better. Okay, take your weight back just a little bit so you can feel the stretch coming on up the quads. Got it? Okay. Then we're going to come forward. Leave your hands on the roller and your hands and shoulders are directly over each other, in line with each other. Okay, so that's part one. Let's just give yourself a moment, breathe. Then we're going to round up through the back, chin to chest, but this is about the upper back and shoulders. Then we drop the chest, lift the chin, lift the tail. So we're rolling. And then lower in. So the ribs come down, the tail lifts. This time when we roll up into that lovely camel shape, pump back, chin to chest, we're just going to draw a little circle clockwise and then anti-clockwise. Just mobilize and again, applying pressure through the wrist joint with a rounded back, chin to chest. Lovely. Drop the chest, look up. Same thing. So it just might feel slightly different. Just let that tail stick up in the air. Drop in your chest. Open in. Well done. Okay, now we're going to sit back in child's pose. To do that really well, I really want you to push your bum as tight onto your heels as possible. Stay upright and push into it. So it's more about pushing your bum onto the heels, part one. And this gets us deep into the low back. Part two, start to lower the chest. The trick is give it time, because as you breathe and relax into it, the muscle fibers start to release. And then when they release, you can increase the range of movement. Okay, we're coming back onto all fours. Leaving your left hand on the roller, take your right finger to your temple, right hand, right fingers to temple, open up through the torso, bring the elbow to the wrist. So we're opening and closing. This is just a nice piece of work. Again, reinforcing the importance of that spinal rotation. Just keep breathing. Last time. And then release, switch sides. Left fingers to temple, touch wrist, open up. Lovely. Give me two more. Beautiful. And then release. Good, good. Okay, so here we are, still on all fours. Just for a moment, just roll out your wrists for me while I demonstrate where we're going next. So whilst you're sat back on your heels, just roll out your wrists. If you want to be a little bit more bold, curl your toes under your heels. And even if it's just for a moment, it's worth practicing that. Okay, and the idea now is to bring your weight forward, so your shoulders are over your wrist, and start to take the power into your core muscles. So from here, what I want us to do is think about a really strong lift. So breathing in, breathing out, tightening through the pelvic floor, and just taking the weight off the knees. So the knees are in just a nice little gentle hover. 4, 3, 2, knees down and rest out. Breath in, breath out. Breath in while still floating. Contract pelvic floor. Breath out, knees down. Good job. Now, if you find that pure focus is just a little too intense, what you can do is lift and then just rock forward and backwards. It will increase the intensity and the load into the wrist, but it might take the pressure off the core muscles a little. But in this position, you're quite vulnerable. So think about that real connectivity with the pelvic floor and the inner thigh. Well done. Well done. Release down. Okay. So we're coming onto our side, 90-90 with your knees. So the feet are turning out to the right. Is there any chance you could open a window? Oh, it's really hot in here. I know you have to climb over things. So Nick's now going on camera and she hates the rider. You've got to do a dance when you run past. There you go. So what I'm looking for now, firstly, is creating that space with the hips. Let's see if we can get both knees onto your mat. The left hand on your roller. We're just going to start rolling out and in, whilst keeping your right outside leg stuck to the mat. Okay. So, easy peasy, got it? Okay. So when we bring in the right arm, it then starts to increase the load. So you'll notice there's more tension going on through your waist and core. Okay, this is lovely. Now what we can do is stay over there, wrap under, wrap upwards, over and reset. Got it? So we go right the way over, thread the needle, open the chest, center and back. 2 more of these. So 1, beat the needle, open the chest, reset, come back, last time. So hopefully your hips are going, woo! And we're all good. Last time, 1, thread the needle, 2, open the chest, 3, reset and come back. Well done. Okay, so whilst we're here, what I'd like you to do is take the right leg forward, hold on to both ankles, so left hand, right ankle, right hand, left ankle, and try to cross them over. So this will feel more like yoga. All I'm trying to do here is to stretch off the hips. So if you want to sit up nice and tall, feel free. Lovely. And if you want to add a rotation, draw your left shoulder towards your right lifted knee and start to look over your shoulder. And release, well done. Take your right leg forward to me. Tuck in your left foot into the left thigh. Turn your chest towards left knee. Lean forward. Now this isn't about nose to knee. The direction is nose to knee, but think long spine. Relax your thigh on the right. And again, what you might get here is a release or a stretch out through the left side of the back. And actively think about just getting your left knee down towards the ground. Play with it. I always say about these type of movements, this is your anatomy, and you might need to have a little tinker. So I like left hand to outside of right shin, and then add for an additional twist here, just so I can get further up my spine in terms of the stretch. Reset, come back to the other side. Now, we are taking both feet over to the left side, 90-90 into position, and we're going to repeat that little combo. So, in the first place, what we're looking for is a stretch over and back. Focusing on getting these knees down, because this is where we really start to pick up the imbalances of the body. So out and in. Out and in. Lovely, lovely. Last time. Now we add in 4 of those combos. So we lean over, twist through, open chest, reset, pull back. Lean over, 1, thread the needle, 2, open the chest, 3, reset, pull back. all around the rotator cuff in your shoulder activity here. 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and up. Last time. Over and through, chest and over and up. Well done. So same guidance now. Left foot comes forward. I'm just going to add in that little twist here. So right hand, left ankle, left hand, right ankle, and just draw your ankles in just to try and work on opening up those hips. And settle into it and relax. And I find this is not for everyone, so do what you can. And from here now, extend through your left, right foot tucks. See if we can settle that left knee, that right knee down. Draw your chest towards your straight leg, your left leg, and lean forward. Breathe into it to help to release the back. And then play with it. Do what you need to do to feel comfortable with this. So like I said, I prefer to take my opposite hand across the shin so I can really feel that stretch out in my back. And still at the same time trying to get my right knee down towards the ground. How does that feel? Rising up. Well done. And release. That's it. Okay, so lovely roller comes back into action. We're going to roll lengthways, so tail one end, shoulders the other, and we're going to lie down on the roller. Okay. So gracefully, so I've got the gym wear I'm wearing is from a lovely company called Amazing Jane, and it's really nice because they make it for all sorts of shapes and sizes. Anyway, we're all friends, fitness friends, and they've actually created this manufacturing business, creating clothes for real women. They're coming down and they're going to do a pop-up shop. So we'll send out some information to you if you're interested. But what I like is that it's breathable and it's baggy, and these great, so I can put knots in the back, so I feel like this is an infomercial. I can put a knot in, which is a bit more flattering, but take out the knot quickly when you lie down so you don't impale yourself on the knot. We've all done that, right? Okay. I'm saying all of this whilst our spines are starting to adjust. So if you want to, let's have a look at some posterior anterior tilts of the pelvis. Well done. And I like this because we need to create just space around each of the vertebrae. Okay. Now when you're ready, take your hands out as your stabilizers and bring up one leg and then the other. Now we are trying to create a tabletop position. So think 90 degrees at hip and pelvis into torso and 90 degrees at the knees. Hold that. Slowly take your time, extend right leg forward, draw it in. Now if you can, lightly put pressure on your hands instead of hanging on for dear life. Think about the magic of those core muscles as you send the leg out, in, alternating so we're not getting too much of an overload on one side and remain nice and balanced. Lovely. Lovely. We've got 4 more to do of these. Now we would have already woken up this area when we did those knee lifts, when we were on all fours. Last right. Last left. Okay, and when you're ready, gently lift the feet. Give yourself a moment because we're going to hug the roller. So you're going to have to do a little bit of work here. I'm sorry if you didn't get round, but see if you can bring your heels to the bottom edges of your roller. So that's quite a stretch of the V joint. So pinch the roller with your heels. Then think about bringing your knees together. So that would feel quite tight in the front of the pelvis for many of you. Might feel quite restricted into movement. Then I want you to clench your butt cheeks and lift them up, 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 down, down, down. And where possible, on the lift up, try and get the tailbone to come up first. On the peel down, try to get the rest of your spine down before the tail. So, and it will feel really restricted. So by setting your bones the way I have done, so heels pinch in roller, knees close together on the rise, and especially if you've got a bit of booty there, it's going to be fairly restricted movement. And the down bit again, we're just creating space between vertebrae to be able to elongate that spine. Let's do one more of those. Now, at the top of this movement, walk your heels wider, nice and wide, okay? And we're going to push for 20. So 20 butt squeezes, 1 and 2 and 3. If you don't know what to do with your hands, take the hands overhead if you want to. This is all about the bum muscles. Now, I have no idea what number we're on. It feels like we're on 8. 12. 8, 7, 6, nice and high. 4, 3, 2, up and hold. Lay it down. Now, if you can, send your hands overhead to 10 to 2 on your clock face. So a nice high V, knuckles down on the ground, and stretch your feet forward. And then hopefully this will give you a lengthening, an elongation through the front of your pelvis. Beautiful. Okay, well done. Right, so gently dismount. I was like saying that. Okay. So hamstrings. Sorry in advance. I really am. Okay, so similar thing. We're going to lift up into some bridges. Your feet. So honestly, let's make this work for you. So let's just start it, right? Feet on the roller. I'm giving no technique advice here. Feet on the roller, come up into a bridge. How does that feel? So if you feel it's easy peasy lemon squeezy, I want you to do a couple of things. Think about feet closer together as your starting position. Lowering and lifting. Maybe feet further away from your bottom. That becomes more of a challenge. Or feet really close to your bottom. Okay, so we're going to go for sort of like middle of the road stretch, middle of the road tension as we rise and lower maybe 8 times, okay? So think about really getting that mobility into the spine. And of course, now that I've taken away the restriction, now it's easier for you, so you'll get more height, your knees will come into play a little bit more. Just keep going, lifting and lowering, lifting the spine in sequence, lowering the spine in sequence. Okey-doke. Okay, now we're just going to roll out for a reason, because in a minute you might cry at me, okay? So we're going to take halfway between the knee and the ankle. That's the point that's lying on the roller. So halfway between the knee and ankle, and I simply want you to roll your feet side to side to side to side. Give it a minute. Massage in. There might be some little spots that you really want to address here, any tension in the lower limb. Remember how I started today and I talked about flip-flop wearing season? Got to think about just giving the lower limbs some kindness and relaxation. You might want to shuffle down a little bit further as you get closer to Achilles. And again, this is really great for moving any fluid around your body. Because when it's hot weather, we can often become a bit puffy around the ankles. Okay, lovely. Right, so bear with me. There's four components to this. So part one, so if you just watch, we're going to make a box. So part one is heels to bum as close as possible to rise up as high as possible. Then I'm going to take the roller out. Then I'm going to let my spine down, and then I'm going to roll the roller in. Got it? Might trigger crampage. We've got some nice stretches to do after this, okay? So heels to bum on roller, rise up, articulate, spine 1. Roll feet out whilst keeping hips high 2. Spine down 3. Roll in 4. Repeat. Yeah, I know it's a bit sneaky, isn't it? Roll up, roll out, down, and in. One more of those. I'm just having a quick check of you. So it does create quite a lot of tension in the back of the hamstring. That is important when muscle building here. Good, good. Okay, so it's never over, is it? So here's the opposite. Back down, bottom down, roll out, 1, lift up, 2, bum down, 4, roll out, 1, spine up, 2, walk it in. I can't walk it in, my friends too much. Bum down, 4. If you can do that 2 more times, well done. I think I might opt out of that. That's still a bit of a legacy from last week for me. Well done. Okay. Soz. Okay. And when you're ready, let me just show you how we could roll this out. Okay, so I'm now sat on top of the roller and I feet wide. And for a moment, I'm just going to down my feet in and out. Hamstrings are made up of 3 muscles that attach into the hip, butt, and low back, and then finish at your knees. So it might be one particular area that's just feeling a little bit narky after that. Long spine. And if you want to, you can load your weight onto one side only and roll forward and back. Switch sides. It's all right then. Well done. And then rest. Okay, so just for a moment, bring the soles of your feet together. Let's just do a little spinal twist. Oh, I don't know about you, but that's kicked off my coffee morning. Oh, it was Monday morning. We haven't got a coffee machine yet, have we? Coffee shop opens tomorrow. Ah, oh, such a shame. Right, relax shoulders, soles of feet together. If that's too much into the hips, you can just cross. As we're sitting on a roller, here's a nice tip. What you can do, well, let's try it together. It's the top of the foot that you're going to put down onto the floor. So, and then I want you to kind of line it up. So the widest part of the ankle to the heel, widest part of the ankle to the heel, and then come forward. So it's almost like you've got a little perch going on. Right, now we're here, let's have a look at a spine twist. So 2 options. Option 1, arms long. Option 2, hands together. Personally, I like arms long because it puts more gravity down onto those arms, so working harder. So this is about turning off the lower limbs. And also, I want you to really connect into it, so always too much information. So imagine the vaginal vault, side walls, front and back walls. When you rotate, you might feel those muscles pull in, or you might feel the support mechanism just twisting a little bit as you rotate. Now, the important thing is to breathe out. Breathe out as you turn away from the centre of the body. Breathe in as you come back to centre. Breathe out. Breathe in. Good. So what you might notice is the vulnerability in this position of the pelvic floor. So you have to work now to lift it, contract it, and still allow for that full rotation through the movement. Okay, well done. And release. So undo the legs, stretch the legs out. So that's kind of part 1. Part 2 now is a rotation. So nose to left knee. So feel that line up first. Fold the chest, reach towards the toe. Rise up, rotate, fold. Now the key thing is here is to breathe out as you lower, because you're emptying the lungs, and by doing that you're enabling the body to go flatter, and the inflation helps you to rise. Okay, so take the breath away as you lower. Inhale, rotate, exhale. And it doesn't have to be a big movement. You should feel the stretch in the back and contract in your center. And all at the same time, you're just connecting with that pelvic floor too. Well done, team. And release, relax. Good effort today. Okay, so we are going to flip over onto our bellies. Right, I said we'd use the bands for it. I'm going to run out of time. I had the whole band sequence in mind. Right, what I'd like us to do is lie down and then sit up. Lie down and sit up. Yeah, okay. That's it. Did you see that? There was no style to this at all. Come forward, lower down, arms wide, arms together, push up. Lower down. Now, in a second, we're going to significantly slow down the movement. So we're consciously rippling through the spine, consciously and controlling the lower down. Float the arms out, float the arms in, consciously, lift up, sit back, repeat. So taking our time with the movement. Lovely. One more time. And the reason the slower we do this, the more control we have over the movement. Sit back, child's pose, and settle there for a moment. Lovely. Good, good. Good, good. And you know how what a fan I am in planks and whatnot, but we do need to come back there. So, when you're ready, your shoulders are over your wrists and we come up into plank. Back into down-legged dog, down-legged, down dog. Come forward to plank. Now, if you want to, you can just roll, come onto the sides of the feet for a twist, reset, down dog. Come forward, twist, reset, down dog. Twist, reset, down dog. 1, 2, 3. Last time. Plank, twist, reset, down dog, and stay. Stay. Now, if you want to add in a little knee walk, you can. Enjoy that sensation in your wrists, maybe your heels as you maybe walk one knee then the other. And we're not looking at our toes, we're looking more towards our hands. And release. Good job. Bring your knees down. Good stuff, team. And yes, I have done quite a bit of work with wrists. Okay, I was just coming around for a second, back to the roller. And I noticed, you know, I noticed it with me, it's easy to cheat on a lot of things, right? So what we're going to do for a minute is pop the bum down on the floor and use your arms to put your bum back on the roller. There's a little bit of a balance here. So you'll notice what I'm doing with my legs. I'm opting to have one knee bent, one leg straight. Down, up, down, up. And I really need you to push so your bum sits up on that roller. So you're sliding down and pulling up. You know, this is the beginnings of, these are those very subtle changes as part of aging. So we kind of lose our nerve a little bit about this type of movement. So that's why it's important that we get that training in now. It's healthy for your shoulders, it's really healthy for the wrists. Back of the arms, the bingo wings are firing up as we perform this movement too. So well done, give me a few more. And it helps you to engage even those smaller muscles in the back of your shoulders. Well done. Lovely. Good, good, good. Okay, so bring your bum onto the floor. So what I'd like to do is just stretch out through the chest. Again, quick knot release. Can't do that a lot in here, so that's good. Okay. And then when you're ready, we are just popping the bottom of your rollers, bottom of your shoulder blades on the roller. And we're starting to open up the chest and rolling right the way over. Now again, I've opted to have one bent knee, just so I can take the pressure off as I'm starting to feel comfortable, stretching off both legs. So this is enabling that front core, the front fascial wall to stretch and release. Sit up if you need to. Here's another thing. If you want to take your arms higher, you can, but think about what's comfortable for you. The bum is still on the floor. Excuse the funny breathing. Okay, come back up. Take the roller higher up, so it's now sat on your shoulder blades a little bit. Give yourself a bit of a shuffly shoulder, shoulder, shoulder. Is the class at 10:30? So, okay. So what I want us to do is to allow your elbows to be on the top side of your roller and lift the chest. So this is a really nice one for posture. So I'm going to roll up. Now relax, roll up. So it feels like my neck has to work quite hard here. But this again, we just kind of stretch off and release those muscles in the upper back. Okay, and then when you're ready, continue to lift your hip and give yourself a bit of a massage. Okay. So I'm looking towards the ceiling and then looking towards my knees. Up, up, down, down. Up, and then my bum goes down and I'm all over that. Ah, big stretch. I'm seeing if I can get my head to touch the ground. I've really slipped upwards and I've chopped my body off. But the only thing about this mat, it slides. And then if I exercise on the carpet, I then look hairy. So the wool just touches everywhere all over me. It's hilarious. Are we all good, team? Not quite done. Feet wide. Shuffle, shuffle to me. We're coming onto our side. And we're just going to pop that roller at the top of your pelvis, the bottom of your ribs. It feels quite a sensitive area here. What I'm looking for is you just to stretch out a little bit and just release off, rolling around the waistline, around the ribs. Again, you may have a little discomfort at the kidney points. So just work through it. And again, you might find those little bits where you go, ooh, I'm in preparation. I'm in 3 tons of chip-ins delivered this week. So I feel like I'm in my pre-battle workout mode, ready to shift 3 tons of chip-ins. Okay, when you're ready, we switch sides. I make that sound really, yes, so what, 3 tons of chip-ins? That can't be delivered into my garden, so it gets ported from my front of my house through my garage down 2 lots of steps and then to its place of destination. So that's a lot of steps and a lot of lugging of stones. So I'll be hench by the end of it, or dead, one or the other. So how do we like this? I find these are areas of neglect for many, that I'm not releasing off areas because we can't always stretch it, but we can use some of our breathing techniques to help get into those little sweet spots that can be quite tender. Well done. Okay, now we're almost onto our backs again, and then what I'm going to do is roll right the way over. Okay, and I'm going to add in a little bit of hamstring work. Okay, so my bottom's lifted, my feet are pointing towards the ceiling, not my face. So I'm actively taking my feet towards the ceiling. My left leg is going to drift away towards the wall, floor. Pull back in. Right leg. Now, if you can, keep going here and focus on the journey of the big toe, the inside seam of the leg. And if you can, work towards getting your heel just to touch the floor. Is one side tighter than the other? Are your knees bending to achieve the range of movement? Slowly, slowly is good. Can you feel some different pulls and tweaks going on in your body? I notice one side feels so much easier than the other. I don't know how you feel. Okay, draw your knees into chest. Okay, so what I want you to do is to let your knees drop wide and just have the soles of your feet touching. Okay, you're going to extend the legs. So your inside heels and the inside of your big toes are touching. And then drop your heels towards your bottom and extend towards the ceiling. So you'll notice now your feet are pointing or directly above your face. So this is called short back. Okay. And each time really think about drawing those heels towards your bottom and the soles of the feet are just turning in slightly. Okay, now from here we're going to send the feet closer to the face, not or knees closer to the face. We're looking for a straight leg, and then from here we're going to repeat the first movement. So the right leg is going to move away from the midline and back towards the face, and then the left leg. So try to focus on the foot over your face, not the leg that's drifted away. Lovely. It's not gorge. Okay. Draw the knees into chest, give yourself a hug. Now again, if you want to just drop the knees to one side, let them massage over the back of the roller, you can. Hold it onto the roller with cupped hands so you don't drift away. And again, this just might get into those little back muscles that you wouldn't normally get to. Then when you're ready, up your feet on terra firma. Okay, lift the hips, slide that roller away, and take yourself into a full body stretch. The last part of hamstring stretching is now, if you can, one leg or both, hold on to the inside arches, or to be fair, the outside of the foot. I don't really mind, it's happy baby stretch. So if you're more comfortable doing one leg at a time, also fine. It's about your achievements always, not, and it's the frustration I have with fitness industry, that we have to do what feels right by us, not almost like you have to do things that are slightly too uncomfortable, make us feel bad about ourselves. Okay, once you're into that position, obviously think about your pelvic floor. If you want to rock side to side, feel free, go ahead. And if you're inclined, what you can do is wrap your fingers around your big toes and look to straighten out those knees. You end up sort of locking into a position here to rock side to side. And just do what feels right. Another nice tip is toes down, flex feet, heels up. And that will really help to release off any tension in the inner thighs. Pointing and really flexing, pointing toes. When you flex, toes down, heels up. Knees into chest. Feet down onto the floor, soles of the feet together. Send the arms overhead. Well done, team. And when you're ready, bring yourself into a position of comfort to do just a few minutes of relaxation. Okay. So whether that be sitting up or lying down. Okay, beautiful people. Let's start with some good breathing. I think they can hear me. Relax your shoulders. We start by connecting with breath. I always think that the breath bit is the like part one. Firstly, calm it. Really put your attention to how do you calm the breath. You take it out of the higher chest. You try and push it down towards your belly. And then as you do that, you slow the breath. And all your focus is on this breathing. And the reason being, we need to be able to switch out, because you'll be in a slight stress state through this, natural. So now what we need is to really bring on board that slowness where we tap into our full restful cycles of the body. Even if it's for moments every day, it's really important that you take time to slow breathe. And intuitively we do this. In time we've always done it. We've, take a knee, catch your breath, have a cup of tea, all those things that just take us out of that anger state or that state of stress and then switch us into really quality rest now. And when we get into this state, we nourish better and we eat better. So our bodies are supposed to do what they do, which is heal all the time. And there are so many different forms of breathing around stress. I like box breathing. Breathing in, 2, 3, pause, 2, 3, breathe out, 2, 3, pause. So it becomes a rhythm. Inhaling, pausing, exhaling, pausing. So this is going on in your background now, this calming of breath, relaxing of shoulders, tension migrating out of the body. This cascade of relaxation starting to form. So we start to notice any tension. And a good method is ground up or feet up. Just relaxing off your toes with each breath and ankles. You might need to move into releasing tension. So sometimes a neck roll or a shoulder slide or rib adjustment. Anything just to take away that stress. Well done. And to complete that, we take up, we consider the head, facial expression, try and relax the face, relax the jaw, relax the tongue. Often that's the roof of the mouth. Now we imagine we take ourselves to a beach, maybe, just on a little mini holiday. That'll be about 30 seconds long. The beach, warmth, sunshine, relaxation. Place where you do a big fat sigh. Oh. Taking it all in. Taking the sounds, the smells, temperature. Just think about photographing in your mind's eye. These sensations. These feelings, feeling happy, content, rebooted. When we're ready, Start to roll those shoulders. Start to create movement back in those hands. Roll those wrists. Activate the feet and the knees. Change the breath. So now more of a strong breath in. Slow, strong breath. And inhale. Stretch arms overhead. Exhale, send the arms away. Do this again. Breath in. Breath out. Breath in overhead. Bring your hands into your center. Check in with yourself. Give yourselves a round of applause. Well done. Are we good? Okay. I'm going to go over and have a natter with you, because I don't get to natter with you much these days. So here we are. So I'm just going to come off camera for a second. And I might even try and turn it around. When you see it, so you're like, oh no. Chin. Right. I'm just going to stop recording.